Hello everyone, Neil back again with another quick streaming review for you. And today I'm taking a look at Ahsoka, episode 5 of this inaugural season, and it's called Shadow Warrior, directed and written by Dave Filoni, as he's written all 8 of these episodes. It's his baby, and let's face it, it's Dave Filoni's world, Star Wars fans, and we're just living in it. Yeah, so this one, I think, was the best episode yet. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Before I get into it, though, of course, spoilers. Yes, I will be spoiling it. You've been warned. Alright, moving on. Lots of feeling the Force in this one. A flashback to the Clone Wars, to a very young Ahsoka when she was just starting out as Anakin's Padawan. She's, well, the current Ahsoka seems to be trapped in this world between worlds, and this was a realm that actually saved her from Darth Vader on the Rebels animated series. So I kind of forgot about that. Oh yeah, they go into this, like, world between worlds, and it's kind of like the Flash Mirrorverse, the Mirror Master, if any DC fans know what I'm talking about. It's kind of like that, it's this, like, place between places, the idea that it's actually a really cool idea. I can get on board with it, yeah, it's a bit nutty, but I dig it. I like it. Again, highly recommended that you give Rebels a try. Watch that animated series, or at least get a summary of kind of what happened, and the important parts as it relates to Ahsoka. If you're planning on watching this series, it'll certainly benefit your viewing experience. So Ahsoka, I mean, she's believed to be dead after falling off this cliff, thanks to a Balin skull. But she is, of course, not dead at all. It was hard to say in the last episode. She's just in this mysterious place, and she is confronted by her old master, Anakin Skywalker, in some of his best work, honestly, in the role. I think Hayden really knocks it out of the park with this turn here as Anakin. He returns in this ghostly way. He's kind of almost not really there, and they start to duel. Now, meanwhile, Hera and her son Jason, son of Jedi Kanan Jarrus, again, watch Rebels, he senses that there's something strange about the water as they're standing over the cliff where Ahsoka fell, and he can feel it. He goes, "Mom, can you hear the lightsabers?" And she kind of does too. I don't think she's Force sensitive, but maybe through him. I don't know. This is where things are getting a little bit stretchy. I'm like, does she just believe him, or does she feel it? Because it seems like she hears it too, like very faintly, very faintly. So yeah, I mean, obviously, Jason here is going to be Force sensitive like his father. That's no surprise at all. Captain Carson is ordered to stall the New Republic fleet as they threaten to remove Hera as general and put a stop to this nonsense, which they think is just a wild goose chase for Thrawn and a waste of time. And well, Hera's breaking the rules, so yeah, she's in trouble. But Ahsoka, in this world between worlds, she winds up in the past during the Clone Wars, and we see this younger version of her as Anakin leads the clones into battle, and Ahsoka is trying to keep up, but it is current Ahsoka's consciousness that's taking this all in, going, this is the Clone Wars. And, Anakin's like, no kidding, obviously. So, it's very, very interesting because, the young Ahsoka, just like in the animated show, she was very compassionate towards the clones, all these troopers. And Anakin's more like, you know what? They got a job to do, and part of that job is dying. This is war. But she's more sensitive and more considerate to them, I guess. She is then later thrust back into her current self, back into the duel with a now red-eyed, red-saber Anakin, and he's kind of flickering back and forth between Anakin and Vader. She's able to best him in battle in this ghostly, weird battle. It kind of reminds me of the magic tree scene from The Empire Strikes Back, but, when Luke killed Vader, and it turns out that it would be him killing himself, and it was kind of like dark foreshadowing and all that, and it was a lesson, right? So, yeah. She beats him, and she passes that lesson, she passes that test, and she is magically reunited with Hera and Huyang. I don't know, was she just dreaming the whole time, or was this real? It's hard to say, but regardless, yeah, the point there is like, it's Ahsoka's tested, and she didn't give in to her hate and her anger and all that stuff, and her need to destroy, which is what happened to Anakin, of course. So Ahsoka didn't give in. I guess she's just too well balanced emotionally. Then she discovers through her force-feeling powers that Sabine went through with the villains. She went through hyperspace with the villains, and she figures out a way to pursue them by allowing her ship to go into the mouth of the space whale. Purgils, I think they're called. I just call them space whales because they can go into hyperspace too. These space whales can just go when they're off into hyperspace. So it's like, okay, all right, okay. Huyang goes with her, the android, very intelligent android goes with her, but Hera, Jason, and Chopper stay behind. So I highly enjoyed this episode. It was certainly longer than the last couple of episodes, and the Anakin Ahsoka stuff was superbly done. Very impressed with young Ariana Greenblatt, young Gamora from Avengers: Infinity War, as the youngster here, and her scenes with Hayden were a joy to watch. Honestly, I never thought we would see the animated Clone Wars, Filoni's Clone Wars, come to life in live action with these actors. Even if it's just for one episode, it's just great fan service. So I mean, my question is, as always, the same thing. Does the show seem a bit exclusionary to those fans who have not yet seen Rebels or the Clone Wars? Well, perhaps, still an excellent episode, I thought. Some question of, is Ahsoka too powerful? Is she just like, wow, like she's just the greatest Jedi ever now, and it's just, she was never really a Jedi, and she is and she isn't, I guess. She's just an unofficial Jedi. But yeah, it's still good, no villains this time around. We get no villains at all, no time for them, but I get the feeling we will be catching up with them in the next episode. So I'm gonna give Ahsoka Episode 5, Shadow Warrior, a 9.5 out of 10, almost perfect. Just got the same old kind of concerns for certain things, like, careful with this, like, where are they going with certain characters? I don't know. And certain things that happen are a little bit convenient, a little bit Deus Ex Machina sometimes, but that is also Star Wars, let's face it. But still, it was an excellent episode. I'd almost give it a 10. I was tempted to give it a 10, but well, we'll see what the next one has to bring, because we got to see villains, and we got to see more villains, and we'll likely see Ezra as well, so you never know. It's going to be interesting to see how the last 3 episodes go. 6, 7, 8, I can't wait. Alright guys, until next time, this is Neil, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.